16 years ago, I, with some of my colleagues, decided that many of the professional conferences we were going to were really based on pathologizing people's lives. People would just focus on that and not the other lived experiences that a person might come in with. So we decided we wanted to have a healing space that would deal with lived experience as positive aspects of people's identity.
We bring together educators, mental health professionals, community activists. It's one of really the only kinds of conferences where people come together from a lot of different disciplines, and also people who are community organizing to create a language that we can use together and a space where we can talk about ideas and bring in scholarship that is not in mainstream curricula.
I went to college in the late 80s. It was very shocking to me, the absence of anything about my people, the silencing that was systemic. So when I see mentor programs or programs that are addressing that silencing on campuses today, I'm all in. And as I'm a newcomer to the Liberation Healing Conference, I feel touched myself. I feel like this is something that I've needed to see to heal my own wounding.
My people, I know and I understand the value of what you bring. You are here to build into your life spaces of rest and non-work. You are here to be reunited with spirit parents, to be nurtured back to health, returned back to where colonial states separated you from, home. You are here to regain healthy attachment and spit out the emotional poison of colonization. You are here to collectively help deconstruct old belief systems.
Annually, I need to come to the conference to refresh and refuel in terms of thinking about the ways that I can work to counter the injustices that the people around me and that I suffer on a daily basis.
My whole life I was labeled as an at-risk youth in the college setting. I always felt like I never fit in. This conference not only helps me liberate myself from those social constructs, but also to teach the youth that they do belong, that they are allowed to dream beyond the social prescriptions of what has been assigned to them.
So in the academic year of 2018-19, we completed over 4,000 community service learning hours in the community. These are volunteer hours, folks. And I just wanted to echo something Dr. Almeida said this morning regarding this collective healing. Because for a lot of us who become mentors, we're college students to try to fulfill an internship requirement because we can't graduate without it. But then we go into the community thinking that we're gonna go out there and help these poor kids. And what do you think happens in that process? The mentors start to realize that they need healing too. And then it becomes a mutual process of healing, which is a very beautiful thing.
And so when I think about supremacy systems, I think about the ways that people like me have been told that your belonging is in service of a worldview that maintains ruling class power. And for me, it is crucial. I organize in white communities because I want white people to reclaim their humanity from a death culture of supremacy systems, to reclaim a humanity that unites with the humanity of the people in this room, rather than uniting with a vision of a capitalist system, a colonial system.
In order to learn and expand my knowledge, I have to place myself in unknown and sometimes uncomfortable environments. And I knew that by coming to this conference and hearing what people have to say, that it would be able to not only expand my knowledge, but also expand my practice.
We're going to learn so much about intersectionality, about identity, about colonialism. Like, we're going to learn so much more than in our classroom.
Medgar Evers was an activist. He was in the movement of liberation, and so I'm honored that I was able to participate in this conference at Medgar Evers College, doing the work that my ancestors participated in.
Coloniality really is the long-standing patterns of power that emerged as a result of colonialism, and they're maintained alive in just about everything that we do, in our books, our performance, our cultural patterns, our language, the self-image in people, and so many other aspects of our modern day experience. And so because of this, The work that we do is to challenge coloniality, and that means challenging all the levels of supremacy.
I want to share this information because not a lot is being spoken about or it's not going into classes.
It gives us the tools to introduce healing-based practices into our social work education and disrupt the systems of oppression that continue to oppress people of color.
Rehab, care, compassion. That's because in this United States of America, we see white people as frickin' human beings, but not others. So I began to see that what happened to me, my damaged humanity, was not just mine alone, but rather shared by a whole bunch of people who share this label from the moment of our birth called white.
I came to the conference because I wanted to explore how we can connect liberation-based healing circles to other activist work. I think activist work can be very siloed, and I think all of these things can come together, and the liberation-based healing circle should be at the center of all of that.
The reason that I actually got into social work came from my community organizing and wanting to be able to understand how to better serve folks in their mental health needs. Our mental health is tied to our liberation, right? Like if we're constantly on guard, if we're constantly having to defend ourselves, then we don't have space for that self-actualization.
And oftentimes the format, similar to education, is that you got the sage on the stage who is going to just speak, and there's no time for reflection or discourse or challenging any of those notions that are being stated. The conversation we had here today was a really good reflection of that. It showed that there could be a really wide range of discourse. It was a very powerful, transformative conversation that emerged organically.
Each time I come to the conferences, I really have to send up a silent thank you to Rhea for persisting in these ideas and has continued to share her model, to let the model evolve, and it takes a lot of strength to do that.